Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated lightweight knockout artist. He's from Maidstone, his hands are made of stone. It is, of course, Mr. Sam Noakes. Sam, welcome back on the show, my man, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, and you. So I'll never ever get bored of listening to that intro, you know. That is pucker, I love that.
I never get bored of saying it, my friend. So, Sam, we last spoke back in September. At the time, you were getting ready to fight Carlos Perez on the Joyce Zhang 2 undercard. You were finally going to be boxing on the same card as your brother Sean. The fight ended up falling through, though, on fight week. You were gutted. I remember you posted a video. You were just in disbelief. However, thankfully, the fight got rescheduled for December. You did manage to end the year with yet another knockout victory. Talk me through that fight. You finally managed to get Perez in the ring with you in the end, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a messy fight, all in all. I mean, I genuinely thought that it would be a tough fight. Like, obviously, watched him against Corey Gibbs, and he gave a good account of himself, like, won a few rounds, and I thought, Corey, you know what, he might be slippery and hard to get hold of. Maybe drag me down the back end of the fight. But when we got in there, I just think it was apparent from, like, the first round. I don't know, he just was holding on, he was falling over a lot, and he was just, like, showing signs of distress, you know. So ended up, obviously, where I was margin, like, going on forward and he was trying to hold, and that ended up being quite messy. But I don't know what game plan he had, if he had one. So, but yeah, we got the win. I mean, obviously, first fight for a while, so I was a little bit eager, so I probably didn't help how messy it was, but the knockout streak continues.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to be sat ringside at York Hall that night. I felt Perez's footwork was really good, but it just seemed, as you say, like he wasn't really interested in throwing any punches or taking any. It was an awkward style, and like you say...
Yeah, it was just weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know what was going on. It was holding, he was all over the place, wasn't it? I felt a bit sorry for you, to be honest, because it was such a awkward style. Like, you were clearly frustrated a bit. You just wanted to fight, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got to be able to deal with it. I mean, I don't mind being frustrated about some geezer not trying to hit me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just more so that you can't get any good press from that. You know, like you didn't have time to display much, and it was just like, as you say, a messy. And it's just sort of it was good to get, as I said, good to get back in there in the field of the fight night. But as in for like showing what you're about, that didn't have no time to do that. It was just more of like a bit of a wrestling thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And later on that same night, your domestic rival Gavin Gwynne made his Queensbury debut, and after being dominated for large parts of the fight, managed to get a retirement win out of nowhere over the 47-year-old Emiliano Marsili. I know you didn't actually watch the fight from ringside, I think Sean did, but have you had a chance to watch that back yet?
I haven't had a chance to watch it back yet, but I know some people were saying that he was having it rough, I think, but you can't judge a fight in one night. I mean, I think the 50-year-old boxed out his skin by all accounts. I don't think anyone expected it to be like that. But yeah, I need to watch that fight. Really, I do need to watch that. And
yes, very exciting times to be a lightweight with Queensbury. There's a lot of names in the mix now. Your first fight of 2024 has been announced, so you'll be boxing the undefeated Sylvester on February 10th at the Copper Box. In your last 3 fights, you've taken away 2 undefeated records, so has Sylvester. Aside from that, what do we know about him, Sam?
I mean, I sparred him my first year as a pro. Like, he's just a very good boxer, you know. Like, he moves well. His head movement's good. Like, he will be tricky to get hold of, but I will get hold of him nonetheless, you know. Like, I think it's nice to be in that kind of live fight, and like, you got a live opponent. Like, if I have a bad night or I box rubbish, like, this geezer is going to come to win, you know. So it gives you that edge, and it makes you train that a little bit harder. It makes you want it that a little bit more. And I mean, like, I've come too far, put up with too much shit to then trip at the first real hurdle, you know. So I'm going in there all gun blazing, ready to go, you know.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that you'd sparred him in the past. I was going to say, how do you see the fight actually playing out? I think as fans, we know what to expect from you now. But yeah, Sylvester is a weird one. You know, I was looking. Obviously, he's only got 4 knockouts from 13 wins, but they've all been against either extremely durable journeymen who don't tend to get stopped, or guys that have never been stopped. So it makes me think that maybe he's a bigger puncher than his record suggests he is.
Yeah, I'm not overlooking this guy in the slightest. I've not looked into that. He's not like, he's only got four KOs that he can't punch. Do you know what I mean? Like, as I said, like, he's a good fighter. Like, he's seventh, eighth in the country, and I'm only fifth. So realistically, you couldn't look for more of a 50-50 there, you know. So I think, from my part, just got to not be careless walking forward, and then, like, just because he will tire. Like, I've watched previous fights before, and he moves unbelievable in the first few rounds, but then he does tire, and obviously once them feet slow down, then it's game on, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. February the 10th will obviously be headlined by the rescheduled Hamza Shiraz and Liam Williams fight. How do you see that main event going?
I think Shiraz is probably going to be a little bit fresh, you know. I think, like, obviously, Liam Williams, they're both nice fellas, and I wish both the best, but I just think Shiraz has been looking solid, you know, and depends, obviously, if you judge Williams off his last performance, he looked unreal as well, but I just think he might be a little bit too fresh, you know, like, one sort of coming through the ranks, like Shiraz is on the way up, and then Liam's sort of at the back end of his career, you know, so I probably would favour more to Shiraz, but as I said, may the best man win, innit? I don't want to upset nobody.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I get what you're saying, and Hamza as well, the size of him as well, he's massive. Yeah. Another fighter you've been linked to is Mark Chamberlain. Like I was saying earlier, there's some really good fights that can be made just amongst the Queensbury stable at the moment. How do you think the fight would go if you were to get that Chamberlain fight at some point this year?
Some point this year? I genuinely believe that I will stop him. I mean, I'm not going in there overlooking. I never overlook anyone. I never do. You know, like, I've seen distress signals in his previous fights, and I just think, like, if that was someone who got a bit more of a punch behind them and a little bit stronger, like, as in for strength-wise, there's no comparison. Like, do you know what I mean? So he's got an unbelievable left hand. He has. But I think once that don't work, he sort of falls to pieces a little bit, you know. So. But that's for whenever that gets made, isn't it? But I reckon I've got that every day of the week.
I'd love to see it, and I agree. Yeah.
I don't think it'll be far away anyway. I don't think it'll be far away.
Oh, that's teasing. I love it. I hope we see it. What is happening with your brother Sean, by the way, mate? What's next for him?
I think he's either March or April. He had physio the other day, and I think he's now back sparring. So, yeah, he should be back soon. I think he's itching to get back in there, lose the old Christmas weight, get rid of that.
Excellent. And this weekend, my final real question. It seems like it's been ages now since the fight first got made. It was delayed, obviously. Britain's Callum Smith challenges Artur Beterbiev. How do you see that one going? Can't blink.
Mate, I reckon Callum Smith might do it, you know?
Yes!
I think he will.
I hope he does.
Because he's looked unbelievable since he's moved up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I reckon he'll do it. I really do.
I'd love to see it. It's just a massive step up, and it's a massive ask. I think you were there, weren't you, when Beterbiev boxed last time? You was... Yeah, he was at the yard fight. Yeah, I was talking to you there. So
yeah, Sean boxed on it, didn't he?
Yeah, of course. That was just. I mean, he looked devastating there. You know what I mean? He took some punishment, and there were moments for Yard, but God, he always gets a knockout at some point.
Yeah, you can't rule it off. But I mean, I don't know. I think obviously Callum Smith, like, no discredit to Yard, obviously, but Callum Smith's like he's been in there with some top guys, you know, and obviously I'd probably say he's been about longer, innit? Yeah. So, mate, I could be talking absolute rubbish, I don't know, but I just got a feeling that he might just be able to do enough.
Oh, I cannot wait, man. But hopefully you're right. We, of course, both want the Brit to win. Just before we wrap it up, Sam, if you've got any closing words to the listeners, just you want to sign out with a little message, take it away, my man.
Yeah, just thanks for listening as always, and tune in on the 10th. You're going to be a good fight.
Tune in on the 10th. There we go. Listen, Sam, as always, the pleasure's mine. Thanks for your time. Best of luck for February 10th for the Copper Box, and we'll speak sometime afterwards, my friend.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on.